Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Real Time with MK. So last week we kicked off the show with the presence of our Matson Kumar, CEO and COO, Mike Matson and Arti Kumar. It was a fantastic episode with a lot of insights thrown around on business process outsourcing, COVID-19 impact on BPO companies, etc., etc. So today, the sole purpose of this show was to help organizations belonging to various industries uh, understand the nuances and problems they are facing at the moment and what are their solutions. So e-commerce is one of those industries which is a prime focus area for Mats and Kobar, and we have specialized expertise to help e-commerce companies across the globe. So today I have with me one of my favorite colleagues, Mr. Vivek Anand. He is the Senior Vice President of Enterprise team at Matson Kumar. That's the biggest team in Matson Kumar. So Vivek is an engineering graduate and an ASQ certified Six Sigma black belt. So he has been a practitioner of program management, Lean Six Sigma principles, and methodologies with over 20 years of experience in managing operations, process improvement, change management, and program management. He has worked across geographies like India, US, and across industries like manufacturing, telecom, e-commerce, etc. etc. So right now he works with a lot of e-commerce clients from across the globe, and his team help a lot of e-commerce companies manage their operations well. So without further ado, let's bring on Vivek. Hey, good evening, Vivek. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, yes, Vivek, I can hear you. And good evening, everyone. Good evening to everyone who has logged into this session. And hopefully, we'll be able to add value. You're spending time with us today, so hopefully we'll be able to add some value, and you'll be able to take back a few things which may help you. Yeah, looking forward to the discussion with you, Vivek.
Right. So Vivek, right. So obviously, we are pretty sure that people who are attending will get a lot of value from you, because we have how this works is we have curated a set of questions. We have collected questions from some of our connections in the industry, and it covers majorly issues that e-commerce players are facing at the moment with COVID-19 and pandemic and etc. So it covers those challenges and how we want to hear from you how they can traverse through this tough period of time, right? So it's a set of 11 to 12 questions, nothing more than that. Shall we start?
Yes.
All right. So Sure. First thing, let's start with the pandemic, right? So I want to know from you that, according to you, how has this pandemic impacted the e-commerce industry overall? What are your thoughts on?
Sure, Vivek. It's a good first question to have. So we all know it's a global pandemic, and I'm sure it will likely be the defining events of 2020, and which will have implications that may last well into this decade. So and it has changed. Actually, it has changed everything for all of us. The way, as in, it has brought to us the new way of living, and our behaviors have completely changed. And similarly, I would say our shopping behaviors have also changed. Right?
Absolutely.
We all know that as the news spread about COVID-19, there was similar impact across the world on the behavior of the people, and how the shopping behavior has changed is we have changed the way we shop, what we shop, how we shop, when we shop. So it has completely changed, and we all know from the very beginning that if we go to the time when the pandemic started, and so it all led to panic buying. We all know that a lot of us were also part of it. We started stocking up things, and as in most of the things that people were buying were mainly medical essential items and household essential items like hand sanitizers, gloves, surgical masks, and things that we need on day-to-day basis, right? Then as we moved ahead, as we realized the impact of COVID-19, a lot of countries, what a lot of countries did was they implemented 100% lockdown. As a result, what happened was that again it led to change in the buying behavior of the people who completely dumped offline retail and moved over to online retail to start buying the things. But again the things that we were buying were mainly the essential items, right? So what happened was that though in a way it was good for online retail industry that everybody started buying things online, but then that was happening only across a couple of categories, right? We were only still buying things that we need on day-to-day basis, the household stuff, the medical supplies. That's it, right? So what happened was, because of this, what happened was the demand on these things significantly increased, but at the same time, the other categories like your fashion and apparel, your electronics, large appliances, the sales completely nosedived in those categories, right? So this was the kind of impact that we saw. Now with things again, things are opening up. Countries have removed the 100% lockdown, so there is increase in few additional categories. Now what we have seen is apart from the household stuff and grocery and medical supplies, now people are also ready to buy things like things for their personal care, personal fitness, home office equipments, right? So these are the categories which have seen slight increase. Fashion and apparel is also picking up, but not to the pre-COVID levels yet.
Right.
And categories like travel bags, accessories are still to see any increase. So there's a overall huge impact. To summarize it all, what I would say is that it has led to the change in shopping behavior. It has also moved a lot of people who were not buying online to online space, which is good for the online retail industry. But it has come with its own limitations and challenges, which we all need to work around so that we are able to exceed customer expectations and create that trust and loyalty with us, right?
Right. Yeah, so that's why I remember when the first series of lockdown started, that's when toilet paper became the biggest meme across US, because that was one of the essential items people were running around, and it had become most of the players were running out of stock on those kind of essential items for sure. Yeah. So that's a good roundup on the impact on the industry. Another main observation which had come up was online shopper penetration. Online shoppers penetration has widely increased across the globe. So do you think, does this add any extra pressure on e-commerce players operating in the current scenarios?
Getting more number of customers is always good for any business, right? So in a way, as I had mentioned previously, that yes, this has as in global pandemic has moved a lot of people who were not buying online to online space now, which has led to increase in the traffic to on e-commerce platforms. But again, this has come with its own set of challenges and limitations, and now actually it depends on the e-commerce organizations on how do they take up this challenge and come over this. One of the thing that I would want to highlight here is that the pressures have mainly increased because there's complete disruption or interruption in the supply chain of the goods, and from manufacturers to all the way to the consumers. There's a complete interruption there, right? What this has led to is the stocks are not available with the e-commerce organizations to sell. So there's surge in a particular category, but getting those stocks available as inventory is a challenge that we need to handle, right? So one of the things that the organizations can do is keep a track of their inventory, and keep in mind that the overall the supply of the products may take longer time than usual, and so which means the delivery of the products to the buyers may take longer than usual, which may lead to dissatisfied buyers, dissatisfied and upset buyers, right? Similarly, so apart from the procurement of the products, there's also impact on the shipping, fulfillment, and returns of the products, right? So this again has led to a lot of increase increase in pressure on these e-commerce organizations. And one thing that they can so apart from keeping track of inventory and taking that buffer time, one thing that organizations also need to do is also keep the customers informed throughout the entire journey of that customer with you, right? In order to not have a negative, not create negative sentiment, you need to ensure that your customers are in loop throughout the entire journey, right? But yeah, this opportunity has come with its own set of challenges and limitations, and we have to be nimble and come up with innovative solutions to handle this.
Right. So if to pile on to that point is, if you look at any e-commerce portal at the moment, there is a statutory warning on the top which says due to COVID-19 there is a delay in delivery and etc. So I think companies are taking the right steps. Yeah, but also another point which I wanted to bring here was the reports where the backlog of deliveries which were pending during the initial lockdown, that was also too much for some of the companies to handle, right? So my next question will be about B2B e-commerce. So how do you think B2B e-commerce space, because it has been poised to fantastic growth by 2020. So how has that space been affected by the pandemic? Can you throw some ideas?
You're absolutely right. B2B e-commerce was growing significantly, and over the period of last couple of years, we have seen huge growth in B2B e-commerce. But this pandemic has had equally significant impact on B2B commerce as well. The organizations which did not have any online digital presence had been very badly hit. But at the same time, the organizations which had online presence have also been hit. And it's mainly what we have seen is that the huge rush of customers which are coming to these platforms, so the platforms were not ready to handle this kind of a volume of customers, and few platforms are not able to take orders. Even if you are able to take orders, you are not able to fulfill them. Right. And supply chain interruption is has had actually a higher impact on B2B e-commerce than B2C. If you ask me to compare, B2B is hit more than B2C. Why? Because of the I think the volumes of orders that they generally deal in. Those are huge in terms in comparison to B2C. So it's badly hit, but again, it's an opportunity for I would say for a lot of B2B organizations who, even though they had digital presence but did not have much focus on the digital presence, this situation that we are in has given a lot of learning to these B2B organizations also, that digital presence is equally important or even more important in these days. So a lot of organizations will now, after their experience here, will now start investing in B2B digital presence as well, which is, and in fact, one more thing I want to add here, we have also seen a lot of governments also getting into B2B space where they want to have their procurement completely transparent, want their procurement to be completely transparent, and that's why they are creating the B2B platforms, right? Like in case for India, e-marketplace has already been created. Similarly, US government, I was reading this a couple of days back, that the General Service Administration has outsourced, is doing a pilot and outsourced it to 3 different organizations where they want to outsource the government procurement through B2B channel, which is more transparent. So B2B e-commerce, we know, was growing, and it's poised to grow. There is a lot of tweaking which is needed, and organizations are doing that.
Right. So, kind of what I'm hearing right now is maybe this is the time when disruption can happen in that space. Like, for example, companies who serve to businesses, they might go online and they can set up their own shop to deliver directly to the customer. That's possible right now. All right, that's a good point.
In fact, yeah, one more point, maybe. Also, you need to be innovative within B2B space also to keep your suppliers and your buyers loyal to your platform, right? So I was reading this, one of the B2B e-commerce companies, which is primarily into manufacturing goods, supply of manufacturing goods, is actually offering cash or loan to the manufacturers to start the manufacturing, so that once they manufacture, the products come onto the platform, and then the sale also happens. So you have to be innovative in terms of identifying the solutions.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that we might be able to see a lot of innovations like that with big pocket players coming in and disrupting the market. That's very good. So talking about buyers, one of the big things which we all talk about is customer experience, right? For e-commerce, with the stiff competition, with the technological advance, with big players like Amazon and all playing around, customer experience is a big differentiator for e-commerce players. So do you think is it possible for e-commerce players to deliver maybe a superior or an optimal experience at this point of time to their customers? Is it possible even?
See, definitely, as in you have to do if you want to survive in this space now, with so much of competition happening, so many organizations getting into e-commerce space. There are a lot of marketplaces. There are a lot of organizations which deal only in specific categories, but there's competition everywhere. So you have to ensure that you give the best customer experience. There's no option. It's not an option. It's a must-have, right?
Right.
And I think more or less the way you manage customer experience, the way you should manage customer experience in pre-COVID times is similar to the way you should manage here. So keeping a pulse on the changing customer preferences and redesigning your customer journey experience is very critical right now, right? Because these times have changed customer behavior and customer preferences. So it's very important for us as an organization and any e-commerce organization to keep a close watch on the customer preferences, and then come up with innovative solutions to manage it through the customer journey and provide the right customer experience to your buyers. A lot of organizations, what they are doing is they are optimizing their websites with self-service tools, like introduction of more chat, messaging, conversational bots, to deliver the real-time information to the buyers, the accurate and correct information to the buyers, right? Organizations are also investing in improving their search experience. These are stress times for the organizations and equally stress times for the buyers, right? You need to ensure that if a buyer has come to your platform, the buyer gets the product that the buyer is looking for without much of an effort, right? So you need to work on reducing that customer effort, right? So improving your search experience is very critical. If you have a product and you are not able to show that product on your platform, it's a lost sale for you, and which increases customer stress, right? Organizations are also investing in improving their overall catalog to ensure that the right information is available to the buyer, which is accurate, which is complete, and you have right kind of highlights, you have right kind of product description. So organizations are investing in the overall catalog as well, so that and the accuracy and correctness of the information in your catalog also helps you reduce the customer returns, right? There's a correlation there, right? So organizations are investing in that. One more thing which I want to highlight here is that you need to again, it's related to understanding the customer preferences. See, you know what is more relevant for the buyer right now. So you need to ensure as an e-commerce organization that you have those products available on the platform, and you also promote or share those products to the with the buyers, rather than sharing something which is not at all relevant for the buyer. Maybe an example in this case could be, suppose you are an electronics only, consumer electronics only e-commerce company. So you need to understand what customers would need in terms of consumer electronics, and these days what customers are looking for are something which are maybe work from home accessories, technology which helps customers stay connected, or tools which help customers improve productivity, right? So maybe showcase those things rather than showing something which is completely irrelevant, right? So these are the few tips that you need to ensure, and these are actually must-haves that you need to ensure to manage good customer experience.
Right. So when we were doing research on customer experience, we could find that the thing you mentioned, the search experience, is exactly very critically important for your customer experience, because that is one of the main factors which might force or which might push your customers to your competition. For that is proven by various studies. Actually, I've come across that. All right. So you have mentioned several steps and several things, several factors which every player needs to pay attention to, right? So you mentioned several of those. So since you handle a big team who helps customers boost up their experiences for their customers, etc. So I want to hear from you that can outsourcing play a smart role in accomplishing these steps, or these to cut across the hurdles faced by companies in achieving the right optimal CX? Is it possible?
Yes, definitely. See, I have always been a big promoter of outsourcing, and for e-commerce organizations, as we know, the traffic on e-commerce platform is growing, and there's huge dependency on the overall support system to ensure best customer experience, right? And managing everything in-house can be very challenging. And not all organizations have the capability to manage everything in-house. And so outsourcing is the way to, outsource your processes to organizations which have expertise in other business processes, right? So it's actually should not be considered as an option to explore. Ideally, every organization should only focus on their core and outsource other business processes to the experts who have been handling these business processes for quite some time and have the expertise and know how to manage that, right? There may be specific some kind of tweaking that may be required to manage it the way you expect, but then again, the thing is that these partners have the expertise to manage business processes. So you should focus as an organization, focus on your core and outsource the other things. And there are so there are many benefits of this outsourcing, right? One of them is that it will give you ample time to focus on your core. The other benefits could be that it gives you better productivity through efficient and effective management of your processes, right? And this happens over a period of time if you outsource it to the partners who know the processes well. It also the other benefit is also it gives you business continuity. Right now, in these times, this business continuity has become very, very, very important. Right, there were a lot of organizations uh, uh, who had seen significant impact on the overall process management because they were not ready to handle the situation. And if you outsource it, so in a way you are creating a backup which gives you business continuity in these kind of situations, right? The partners who know the processes also help you innovate in those particular processes. You focus your innovation on your core and let partners focus on the innovation of the business processes, right? So in the overall impact of all this is that there is less capital deployment from your side, right? Less expenditure should not be the first option as in should not be the first reason to outsource, but this the overall all the benefits combined together of outsourcing gives you this as a byproduct. The overall capital deployment, if you do it in-house versus if you outsource it, is much different. And there can be many processes that you can outsource, right? Within the if I'm specifically talking about e-commerce, so everything related to catalog can be outsourced, right? The complete catalog management, which includes your catalog creation, your vertical definitions, your catalog quality check, your content writing, rich product descriptions, and everything can be outsourced. Similarly, on the seller side, your seller onboarding, seller management. I spoke about improving search experience. So the complete analytics of the search experience can be outsourced, and partners. There are partners who have the capability of telling you what's not happening correctly on your platform and what changes do you need to make to improve your search experience, right? Similarly, fulfillment and return, customer service. So the entire, as in all the processes within the entire customer lifecycle journey can be outsourced,
right?
And
right.
ideally should be.
Right. So what I'm hearing is, like, for example, there are many processes or functions which are better outsourced because there are experts coming in and taking that off from the e-commerce players' plates, basically, right? So you get the access to the best practices, various methodologies, innovation, technology, all that piece can be brought on by the partner which you associate with, basically, right? And obviously, this will have an impact. This will ultimately have an impact, a bigger impact on your customer experience as well, right? So that's what
Yes, definitely.
That's what it's in a nutshell. All right. So I wanted to ask you, since you already mentioned a little bit about the kind of processes that can be outsourced, I want to know. I want to talk about the trends, basically. So because e-commerce, it's still a nascent industry, even though competition is very high, a lot of players are investing in it. What are the main trends which you have observed when it comes to e-commerce outsourcing for last maybe 5-6 years or so?
See, as I mentioned, all the processes that I spoke about, which are part of the entire customer lifecycle journey, can be outsourced, right? So from catalog to final customer churn, everything can be outsourced. I would like to spend more time on the recent trends that we are observing in the outsourcing within the e-commerce space. So a lot of these e-commerce companies are now getting into regional content. So and it's getting outsourced, right? So now as a buyer, I would want to see the content in my own language, right? And these e-commerce organizations are creating that regional language content. And again, there are experts sitting outside who can help you completely uh, tra- transform your current content to the regional language, right? The other trend that we are seeing right now. So organizations are enabling their systems which are capable of voice search. So when I said that improving the search experience, till a couple of years back, the organizations were mainly looking at the text-based search or navigational search, and were trying to improve the search experience. Now is the time to improve the voice search experience, right? So organizations are investing a lot of technology in creating platforms which understand customers' voice and gives the right products to the customers, to the buyers. And there are again organizations setting out who have the expertise in this kind of work. So there are organizations which provide technology related to voice search. There are organizations who also work with your technology teams as an extension of your product ops team to provide you insights which help you build that technology, right? So again, this work is also getting outsourced, right? Other thing that I may want to highlight here is, as I said, product ops is another opportunity. So a lot of these e-commerce organizations have very heavy product and engineering teams coming up with new products, but they need before the product gets launched, there's a lot of testing, and even after the product gets launched, there are initial hiccups. So they need an extension of their team which helps them work on all these testings and generate insights and build models to improve their overall algorithm. Again, this work is also getting outsourced. So maybe these are the few things that I would want to highlight as the latest trends in e-commerce outsourcing.
Okay, all right. So it's whatever process is getting outsourced. It looks like more like a symbiotic relationship. It's like an extended team of the core team sitting somewhere else and managing these kind of back end work predominantly to increase the efficiency of the team in house, basically. Right? I think I got that right. Vivek, can you hear me? Okay, I think Vivek's video just got stuck. Let me just check with him for a minute. Just a second. Okay, I think I lost Vivek. I'm just checking back on him. Just give me a minute. Technical difficulties, but as the conversation is going ahead, if you are a leader who runs an e-commerce organization at these difficult periods of time, outsourcing seems to be a big differentiator for you, because these are times when a lot of your processes are disrupted. Your customers are their preferences are changing. They are in a dilemma themselves. So by getting these specialized folks managing specialized areas of your business, I think it's going to be a big value add for whatever hard work you're putting in. So the discussion has been going great. So I'm just trying to look how Vivek can join us back. Just bear with me for a minute. All right, he will be back in second. So just to sum up, the kind of things which Vivek discussed. Okay, he's back here. Hey, Vivek.
I'm sorry I got disconnected.
No worries. People were expecting a commercial break anyways. So, you were mentioning about the kind of trends, right? So,
Yeah.
I was summing up your point, saying that it all sounds like the outsourcing partner and the team is kind of like an extended arm of the in-house team, basically, right? Working
Yeah.
on the back end of it and helping to improve things which matters, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
proceeding to my next question, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of my e-commerce friends, my friends from e-commerce or my connections from e-commerce, they are watching this. So if an e-commerce company or an organization wants to explore outsourcing as a cost differentiator during these difficult times, what is the easiest entry point for them, or the starting point for them?
See, as I mentioned earlier, cost differentiator should not be the only reason for you to outsource, right? Because why you are outsourcing is because there is somebody outside who can handle these processes better and will give you better returns on whatever investment that you make. So and output of outsourcing is, yes, you experience cost differentiation. The overall output that you get requires less capital involvement from your side. So that's an output, but that should not be considered as the only reason for outsourcing, because there are many other benefits. Having said that, I think for any e-commerce organization, catalog is one piece which can be easily outsourced, the complete catalog management piece, because if you let's say if you are new into the e-commerce space, right, you need to really get support from people who understand the complete catalog management, who understand if you're launching a new product, who understand what kind of attributes would buyer want to see on this product, who would also understand how to write rich product descriptions, how to write product highlights. And if you are already into e-commerce space for quite some time, you have a defined set of guidelines which you work with. You can still outsource this work because you will get industry best practices from this partner. You will also get this partner to manage your BAU processes. Why do you want to focus on your BAU processes, right? If something is BAU for you, you should go and focus on innovation in your core product, right? So let the partners who have expertise handle the BAU stuff for you and innovate in here, right? So I think catalog management, which involves catalog creation, catalog writing, catalog quality check, catalog enrichment, can be easily outsourced. Should be the first thing on your mind.
Right. So catalog anyways is the biggest asset of any e-commerce organization.
Yeah.
Because that's the first touch point your customer most probably will have with your e-commerce platform apart from your product. Right. So that's a good starting point for any e-commerce player, how irrespective of the size or the business area they are working in. Right. So my next question, it's directly pointed at MK and your team. I know that you handle the biggest team, one of the biggest teams at Matson Kumar, which is the enterprise vertical, right? So I want to understand how has your team helped e-commerce clients during these difficult times? And I have a subset of question, which is what kind of support was mostly needed by them? Because all of a sudden lockdowns were announced, their preferences, their priorities might have shifted. And also, how has the dynamics evolved over the period of last 3 months?
Sure. See, one of the biggest thing that we, as in it came as a surprise for everyone, right?
Right.
Nobody was prepared for 100% lockdown. The businesses, the outsourced partners, nobody was ready for this. So the first thing that we were able to achieve, and within a very short period of time for our partners, was 100% business continuity. So within first couple of weeks, we were able to move 100% of our resources from work from office environment to work from home environment, right? Which was a big help for the e-commerce organizations. The e-commerce organizations were already under a lot of stress to manage their processes, and this would have been another stress to manage if nobody was taking care of their business processes, right? We ensured quick turnaround to get 100% work from home very quickly. Then once we were live, we used the initial lean time, because there was lean time, right, for the e-commerce organizations. Then when there were no orders happening, right? We use the initial lean time. One of the teams which work in the catalog space use this initial lean time to improve the overall catalog. So we used there was an extensive usage of text analytics and image analytics to identify products which were non-compliant, and then utilize the available time to improve the catalog, right? This was the first thing that we got to do. The other thing where we immediately focused on was the catalog enrichment for few focused verticals, right? So again, this was done in discussion with the partner organizations, and we identified few focused verticals, and we started working with them on enriching these catalogs, because again, coming back to my point of catalog management, when a buyer looks at your catalog, you should give complete information, accurate information, right? So we focused our energies to some extent on enriching the available catalog. We also work on a few vertical specific guidelines to maybe to help reduce the seller effort, right? Because in these times, as in sellers were also stressed, and now if they have to list products on the platform, and they were facing challenges of not meeting the guidelines. So we work with our partner organizations to work on these guidelines to reduce the seller stress and pain, right? So these are the few examples that I wanted to highlight that we initially got into. And now, now over a period of 3 months, it has become BAU. Now, as I mentioned, that the overall traffic on these platforms is increasing. So now we are into BAU activities of ensuring the best customer experience on whatever processes that we manage.
Right. All right. So it's mostly even though situations were tough, it was value-add work which was touched upon in the beginning days of lockdown and things like that. Right. I have a follow-up question, but I'm not asking it right now. I wanted to know more about catalog enrichment, but I'll keep that for another session, maybe with you, because I have some more questions to go through. Okay. So my next question will be about you and your team. Okay. So how has COVID-19 impacted yourself and your team? What kind of impact it has had on your team as person?
We all are stuck at home. We are not able to meet.
Right.
So yeah, it's not easy time for it. It's not an easy time for anyone. We all are stuck at home. We have to ensure that our families are safe. We have to ensure that our employees are safe, right? So there's no way that we were to go back to office. So we ensured that whatever support we can provide to our teams who are working from home, to ensure that in turn they are able to manage the processes that they manage effectively, right? So fortunately, I have the excellent team, and which took ownership of all the tasks and ensured that even at the front line, I was very pleased to see that each and every employee took the complete ownership of the tasks and uh, uh, did not really use work from home challenges as an excuse to not being able to deliver on the work, right? On our part, what we try to do, and hopefully we are able to manage that, is to keep employees motivated, right? We do have a lot of committees in place which used to do a lot of activities in work from office environment, but now they have come up with innovative solutions to provide the same kind of fun, to do the same kind of fun activities even in work from home environment, right? On our part, we are trying to keep the employees motivated. We are also utilizing whatever available time we have for these employees in upskilling them, right? So there are a lot of training programs which are running within the organization, and employees can nominate themselves and get trained on. So it's a new ways of working that we are coming up with. Hopefully, we have achieved a few things that we wanted to achieve, but it's not changing anytime soon. We are not going back to office anytime soon. And we'll keep evolving these processes so that our assets, which are our employees, stay motivated.
Right. Again, just I can't even comprehend that such a big team and everybody working from different parts of the country and pulling off big feats like this. Right. That's actually very inspirational. All right. So I have last two questions for you. So again, it's kind of a repetitive question, but I want to.
After that, will I get? After that, will I get a question to ask?
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions? All right. So sure. My next question will be, since your team works with players, e-commerce players from various geographies, right? And some are B2B, some are B2C, some are marketplaces, some are standalone organizations. I want to know, what are the main areas your team supports these diverse organizations? What are the main areas?
Okay, so we almost touch everything that is within the catalog space. So as I mentioned, we call the entire gamut of services as catalog management, which involves catalog creation, vertical definitions, content writing, and when I say content writing, it includes rich product descriptions, highlights, catalog enrichment, right? Then on the product side, we have teams which support the complete product management, which is working with the partner organizations on improving their search experience, on improving their the depth and width of their selection, so that and we put this all under product management, so that when and what we offer as a service is, if a buyer is coming to your platform to purchase a product, we help you. So if you don't have a product, that product on your platform, we help you get the sellers on board to related to that product, or if you have that product but your platform is not showing that product to the buyer, we help you improve the overall search experience, which is search query optimization, navigational search, recommendations, right? So we work on we call this complete piece as product management. Then we also support on the buyer and seller management side, right? We have voice and non-voice teams supporting these buyers, right, and sellers. And then we do a lot of work on the analytics side, competitive benchmarking, interaction analytics. So we touch a lot of services within the e-commerce space, and the best thing is we work with you as an organization and customize these services as per your need, right? we have actually learned e-commerce from these e-commerce organizations while working with these e-commerce organizations over the period of last so many years, right? And how we have learned is because we have been open to customize our services and to meet the organization needs, and slowly we have developed these expertise, right? And now we also help the new organizations who are getting into e-commerce space provide the consultative services through the entire gamut of these services. So there's a lot of stuff that we do. Anybody who's listening, if needs any support on these e-commerce services, please reach out to us. I would want to use this opportunity to maybe also pitch for our services.
Yeah, so the entire e-commerce value chain, I think your team has some specialized service to offer. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be taking notes. I am taking notes because I will bring you back for multiple sessions hereafter, because I want to cover each of these areas. Like product discovery in itself is a big topic we can discuss on, or search, or maybe catalog itself is a big topic to debate on, right? So that's a valid point there. Okay, so my final question to you is, if you have to give one piece of crucial advice to any e-commerce organization across the globe on outsourcing, what that will be? One piece of advice.
I'll be repetitive here. I would say.
Yeah, please.
I would say focus on your core and outsource rest everything, because there is expertise available outside to manage all your business processes, and let these experts work on your business processes, innovate, give you solutions that you have not been able to come up with over a period of many years. There may be problem areas that you are struggling with. So one thing is that focus on core and outsource rest everything. Or if you're not willing to outsource everything, maybe look at your problem areas, and you will identify there are experts available outside who can work on these problem areas and give you the solution. So start, if you want to start small, outsource one of your problem areas, right? And then if you're never outsourced, once you get that confidence, then you can look at outsourcing other areas. Maybe start small with one problem area. And if you have already outsourced, if you have been outsourcing, then maybe see what is the kind of ROI that you are getting. Are you getting innovative solutions from your partners? Are you getting the real-time support from your partners? Is your partner in a way able to exceed your expectations? If not, then do your due diligence and look for some other partners. Again, there you can start small. You can outsource small piece to some other partner, and then see what kind of value you are getting. Right. But focus on your core and outsource it.
Yeah. So that's the success mantra, and you heard it here first from Vivek Anand. Focus on your core areas, outsource your non-core areas to be successful in today's time. Right. So Vivek, that's the end of the discussion today. I'm pretty sure I'll bug you again for another core area for e-commerce players, and we will connect again for that. All right. So thank you so much for your time. I know you have been running a lot of things every day. Thank you for your time, and speak to you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you so much for your time. And, those are really good questions and good interaction. And hopefully, people who joined us found some value here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. So that was Vivek Anand, Senior Vice President, Enterprise, Matson Kumar, who's an expert of e-commerce outsourcing, and he laid out a plan for every e-commerce player to have a serious look at. Right. So if you're talking about processes like catalog, search quality, product discovery, seller buyer management. Who would have thought that can be outsourced, right? So there are a lot of options available for e-commerce organizations these days. So look at all these. I'm pretty sure whoever have watched this have taken notes. If you have any questions, you know where to find me on LinkedIn. Ask around, and we will continue this series focusing on customer experience. So next week I will have another expert, and he is part of our business process outsourcing unit, and he is an expert in contact center management. As you all know, since this is the time of omni-channel management, contact center is a crucial piece for every organization, right? If you look at last 3 months, it has been tough times for organizations to run their contact centers, employees working from home and things like that. So next week we will talk about how to run your contact center operations smoothly during these kind of situations. I want all of you to stay safe till then. Take care and see you soon. Thank you.